Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Matchstick Mike here, and I want to say a big hello to all you guys watching TDC, and enjoy this show.
Folks, I've got another treat. The man that makes matchsticks look like toy pieces of wood. The one and only Matchstick Mike.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's a treat to be here. Nice to talk to you.
Now, Mike, you're from the Maritimes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Born and raised in Marysville, New Brunswick, which is about, well, it's now part of Fredericton. It was a suburb of Fredericton. Well, not really a burb, but an outlying town. In 1976, a big amalgamation happened, and Fredericton sucked up a bunch of little outlying communities and became a bigger place. But yeah, from here. Yeah.
And how many years have you been on the music scene?
Let's see, I'm 43 years old. I started playing bluegrass, mandolin, and guitar at 6, 7 years old. My first paying gig at 14, playing sock hop junior high school dances, got me into the guitar, playing guitar, and just haven't looked back. I've taken various points in my life, taken time out to do different things, but I always played, I always maintained some sort of connection with the music business, and actually went off to the West to become an investment broker for a while, and I started collecting tattoos at 36. I waited a while to make sure that, but this is what I'm supposed to do. It's the most fulfilling, and at some point you have to make a realization. I watch people get up and go to work and work 14, 16-hour days, and these big, huge careers and jobs and stuff, and they don't spend time with it. They're so busy earning money, they don't get to spend it. Their quality of life just sucks. That's what I found with working in the investment business. I made lots of money, but I didn't have any time to enjoy it. So to me, it's about quality of life, and how much is enough. I'm a Maritimer. I returned after I departed that career, came back to the Maritimes, and this is my home. This is where I'm from. It's where I'm most comfortable, and you can have a really comfortable life down here with a few bucks. You don't have to make millions of dollars a year to live well and be rich. And I consider myself, because of the quality of life that I live, more rich than I would be if I had $1 million in the bank, because I'm doing what I want to do.
So, after coming back to the Maritimes, when did you form Matchstick Mike and his Smoking Altar Boys?
Well, the first version of this band actually was sort of came out of Calgary, and it was Matchstick Mike and the Eddie Lights. I got my nickname at the King Edward Hotel, which was the home of the blues in Calgary. It was literally one of those places that had blues bands playing there since the 1940s, and the walls were lined with pictures of young B.B. Kings and stuff like that. So it was a really powerful place, and it's the kind of place that you don't wear sandals, you wear black boots, because you're going to be sticking to the floor from the old beer, and it had just a certain smell, and it was an old hotel, and it was just kind of one of those places that's what you'd expect. And they had a jam on Saturday afternoons, and when I was working as an investment broker, I'd go down and play at the jams Saturdays and Sundays, or Saturday afternoons and Sunday nights, and it was an outlet for me to play when I was working an otherwise non-musical job. And the first gig I got, I put together, and I had to find a band. And so I went to the jam, the King Eddie Hotel, and hired all the guys from the jam to come play. And they became the Eddie Lights, like social lights, Matchstick Mike and the Eddie Lights released an EP, and I moved back east and played as the Eddie Lights for a while. It was about 6 or 7 years ago I put this band together. I've been with these guys now, the same group of guys. And I want to note too, they became the Chain-Smoking Altar Boys, and I want to emphasize altar, not altar. It's something that often comes up in interview. Is that a misprint, misspell in the program? And No, in fact, it's not, because I can sometimes jump on a plane or jump in my car and drive to Toronto and play 2 weeks up there with a pickup band up there, or fly down to Halifax, and, you know, wherever I go. And that's the beauty about this form of music, is that it's very structured in that it's got a specific, it's got form, but a lot of the gold comes from the improvisational performance. And if any one of these blues players in town, this wonderful festival that we're playing at this week, says that they don't improvise on stage every night, you know, they're telling you a fib, you know. I mean, the magic happens when, you know, the gold comes out, when you know, when we step out and we push those boundaries a little bit, and it's just a wonderful form of music, you know, and it's an intense camaraderie amongst the musicians in the blues that you know, it isn't there, you know, with some of the other forms of music I've played, you know, touring rock bands and stuff. You know, we were good buddies and stuff, but there's a bond with the blues. It's much more intense, and I think it's because it's much more real, you know. You know, we've all lived something that made us a little blue, you know what I mean? And you know, although I love Aerosmith, you know, sometimes, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, it's not a whole lot of angst and love in the elevator, you know what I mean? But I'll tell you what, you know, you play an old Jimmy Reed song, you know, Big Boss Man, you know, got me a beat old boss man, works me around the clock, and get me a drink of water and won't let Mikey stop, you know, like, we've all been there, you know, we've all had that guy, we've all worked for somebody like that, you know?
Which brings the next question. Biggest musical influence, if you had to pick one, any particular artist?
Absolutely. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, it's certainly evolved over the years, but it would have to be T-Bone Walker, you know, great, you know, Texas West Coast player, developed his own style, is, you know, amazing guitar player. You know, there's just so many. Jimmy Vaughn, you know, I think Jimmy Vaughn is one of the greatest guitar players that has ever graced this earth. You know, of course, any of the Kings, you know, Albert Collins, you know, at all various points, those guys have influenced me a great deal. But I think the interesting thing is once you become a bit of an established player, you start, you know, getting your chops together and you start, you know, playing. No matter who you're influenced by, you inevitably develop your own sound. And you know, you know, I love the Texas blues. I love the old dirty shuffle blues. You know, but at the same time, you know, my sound has evolved into you know, it's my own thing, and so I constantly look for new stuff and new guys to listen to, and you know, I mean, I'm a huge Joe Bonamassa fan. You know, I don't play anything like Joe Bonamassa, but I love him. I love his stuff. You know, we're gonna come down to a deluge of rain here.